First thing, we shared two things because we wanted to, because I wanted to not have to worry about spoiling it, and I knew Jordan wanted to watch this.
Ooh, higher power.
This is going to be a fairly traditional review of.
Mark, take a night off.
We don't get to take a night off. If I'd actually killed Angstrom the first time, so many people would still be alive. I'll do anything to stop that from happening again.
It's not who you are, Mark. But trauma like that breaks people.
Things are changing, Mark, and not for the better. Oh, God.
We'll figure this out, okay?
We need to show the world that even after everything that happened, the Guardians are still here, fighting to keep everyone safe.
Come on!
From what might be coming our way.
I'm sorry, Mark. We need your help.
How do you feel about war?
The Viltrumites will always be a threat to Earth.
But each day, we add more allies to break their hold on the galaxy. Together, we have a chance to end this war forever.
I also refreshed myself by watching season 3, but you know, not everybody can be as awesome as me.
Yes, and look, okay. I said this to Jordan when I started off of this. My perspective on this is slightly different because I'm watching this for a thing and I need to get through it. So like, when I was originally watching this show just for fun, the episode lengths weren't really all that bad. But when you're trying to get through a thing, all you can notice is like the sections of it that are badly paced and just awful. Like my biggest thing, like any one of these shows, is the episodes are too long and there's not enough episodes. The episode where
Spoiler alert, by the way.
oh yeah, we're spoiling the shit out of this. But the episode where Invincible goes to hell, the infamous episode where Invincible goes to hell that everyone hates. I, for the most part, like that episode. We're gonna jump around a bit.
I didn't hate it.
Everyone fucking hated it. Everyone hated it.
The part where they're falling in the pit and I can't remember the character's name. The one with the helmet keeps Darkseid or whatever. Keeps looking at him and the helmet comes. And the helmet comes off, and then he looks forward, and it comes back on.
Yeah, but that joke goes on for so long. It goes on
a little bit too long, but it still had some moments in there which makes me laugh. Like, also, why do you keep doing that? Doing what? Every time you turn to look at me, the helmet goes away. Because it looks cool. Or because talking is difficult. And he's like, you really think I couldn't hear you? I mean, I didn't make this thing. But, like, why does it do that? I don't know. It goes on
but it goes on for too long.
It's still funny.
It's funny, and it's clearly a crack at Marvel, but it goes on for... And in a show that it's also... Okay, number one thing about Invincible generally is it's cheap as shit. It looks cheap as shit. It is cheap as shit.
Oh, there's definitely large swaths where they will do tricks, and you can tell that it's to save a buck.
Oh yeah, we'll
touch on a few. That's one of them.
That's one of them.
The one where, and this was another joke which I found hilarious, but in the episode where it focuses on Nolan and Alan, and it keeps cutting to Nolan is trying to sleep.
Yes, it's funny, but it's a still image. It's a single still frame image. Yeah. Yeah,
but that's another example. But I think that's an example of it doing
funny,
that
though.
well.
That one works. Yeah. The problem is there's too many of them.
Or where it keeps cutting to Alan and the girl, and it's the shot of the ship from the outside, and they're supposed to be playing video games, and all you see is the still image of the ship from the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem with Invincible is not so much that because we're going to talk about another show after this. The problem isn't so much that it uses shortcuts to cheap animation. Every animated show does that. You have to. You don't have a choice. There's so many of them, and they're egregious as fuck. Like, they're so egregious. Where you're like... And this season... noticeable. Like, distractingly noticeable. And there's not enough... Like, the thing about Season 3 is... We're not here to talk about Season 3, but Season 3 has that conquest fight, and that conquest fight's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous piece of animation.
Yeah,
It
but I think
looks
this one has
super
a few see like in the later episodes has some fights with some of the other Viltrumites, which I think are also really good. So
I just don't think they're as good as the Conquest fight. I think the Conquest fight is up there. I mean, the best fight in the show is still the Omni-Man one from season 1, but
yeah,
that's pretty close. But that all having been said, Thrag is phenomenal. Like, he is legitimately scary. His fights are great. He's a chilling fucking villain.
And I like how it's an interesting touch, and I like how his outfit is red like Nolan's was.
Yeah, right? I like that. That's pretty cool.
I think that's a nice touch.
The big thing with Invincible that makes it hard for me...
Because it makes me then retroactively go like, so okay, did Nolan, when he gave the costume designer dude, when he gave him like the notes on what he wanted, did he specifically base him off Thrag because he knew how intimidating it looked?
Maybe, yeah, it's certainly possible.
Like, was that in the character of Nolan's mind? Was that like a specific choice or just a weird coincidence?
My big thing with Invincible, the thing about Invincible from the get-go is I watched the show after I watched The Boys for the first time. And so your brain automatically goes to, well, this is clearly a parody of Marvel and DC. Like this character is definitely Hellboy mush with the Question. This guy Superman, Dark Claw or whatever is clearly Batman.
Or that such and such character is such and such character.
And you think they're parody and it's supposed to be satire, and it's not. Like that's the thing is Invincible is just its own. It's from its own world, and it's from its own comic. I think it's Image Comics. So they have their own universe, and like so a lot of characters that show up.
That doesn't mean that it's not homages or it's not giving tribute to other things.
It's not meant to be interpreted that way. It's not meant to be like unlike The Boys, which is very definitely satire. This is not supposed to be, but because its proximity and its existence on the same streaming service, I think early on it kind of got that. At least for me, it had that. I kind of gave it that characterized, and it's not. It's I saw someone say it's basically like Superman meets Dragon Ball Z, especially the fights. The fights are very Dragon Ball Z coded, and I was like, yeah, I could see that. Like this show is very much like the epitome of you'd be surprised by what you could live through.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think that it is maybe not intentionally. Maybe they didn't mean for it to be, but I do think that it is an homage to both Marvel and DC.
I know it's like it is. To be fair, Invincible.
Again, maybe it wasn't intended to be, but it is.
Invincible is an old comic. Like that's the thing that I didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
is Marvel.
No,
and DC.
but it's not meant. It's meant to be. It's like I say. It's more equivalent to being like you've got Marvel, you've got DC. Like I guess you could be like in DC there are characters who are meant to be. It's as much of a take on a version of a thing as like a DC doing their own version of Spider-Man, for example. It's not directly meant to be a parody of
which they've done.
It's just like a coincidence. It's not intentional.
Marvel, sorry, my mic is cutting out. Marvel has done their version of Superman.
No, I know, but it's not
absolutely. And so that's where I say maybe they didn't set out to be doing like homages to those characters, but what the product that they ended up with is an homage to other characters.
My point though is that unlike The Boys, which is very directly satire of specific superheroes by design, my brain made that connection. So like I thought of this less than I do now, which I'm like, no, this is its own universe with its own set. Like Tech Jacket, for example, in the comics, has their own comic run and their own run of comics. Same thing with there's another character I can't remember, but there's another character in there as well that they Invincible started off as a character in their comic, and then he got his own. Technically, Invincible is a spin-off of a...
But what I'm saying is, like, in the Guardians of the Globe, for example, and with the original ones of them, there's the one that has the hammer, which is just Thor.
Right.
You can't make a character that's exactly like Thor without people comparing it to Thor.
No, yeah, but you're missing the point, though. My point was, when I first started watching this show, I thought of it only as I thought it was like The Boys. Where it was, and the thing you learn early on when you watch this show is it's not meant to be a parody of, it's meant to be its own thing. It's not meant
Right,
to be
but I'm saying that it is still an homage to the original thing.
You're not listening. You're missing. Yes, I understand that, but you're missing the point. Is it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be read that way. So what I'm saying is,
I feel like we're just going around in circles.
I initially read it that way, and as it's gone on, and I've learned more about Invincible the comic, the more you learn that like, no, its connection to other superheroes is coincidental at best. And that's what makes this interesting.
Maybe in the beginning I would believe that, but especially in the comics, there's a point where he literally meets Spider-Man.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
And I believe he also off panel or whatever. He also deals with the DC universe. So no, at a certain point, the creators were very aware of what they were doing.
No, but you're missing the point. The point is,
I'm saying in the beginning, maybe you're right, but no, at a certain point, it is a parody of those things.
It's not a parody. That's what I'm saying. It's not. You're missing. Like, unlike The Boys, which is very specifically a parody and meant to be a parody. This was not intended to be. It's meant to be its own story. He's his own character. It's sort of like being like he's a Dark Horse comic character. It's I always thought of this as being a parody comic, and it's not a parody comic. So they all these. This was my point of my way of being like, these characters have their own comic book runs. Like that's what was interesting to me. Is so you think of Tech Knight, oh, it's just Iron Man. Well, Tech Knight is actually its own character and wasn't created to be a parody of Iron Man. It's a parody of Iron Man. It's just its own character, and that was interesting to me. Whereas oh, okay, I thought of this initially when I first started watching this. I was like, oh no, it's just meant to be another parody. It's just The Boys. It's just another parody of Spider-Man or of whatever. And as you watch it and as you read it, you're like, oh no, it's not just that. It's quite a bit deeper than that. Where was I going with this?
I don't know, but I think I don't agree with you. It is a parody, and it's meant to be.
But it's not.
It is.
If you listen to Robert Kirkman, the creator, it's not meant to be a parody. It's at least I mean, certainly I could believe it's homage, but it's very specifically not satire of. It's not satirizing.
I mean, they literally just made evil Superman. So,
but he's not evil Superman. He's completely. He is evil Superman. He's nothing.
He's
Superman.
an entire. The Viltrumites are an entire race of. They're just evil Kryptonians. They're Krypton by way of General Zod.
Robert Kirkman actually hates Superman, but they are very specifically not. He doesn't have remotely the same skill set, strengths, or weaknesses. Like, yeah, he punches really hard, and he's almost invulnerable, but they can be killed. A, they can be killed. B,
so
they can
Kryptonians.
But they can't be gutted. At least not Kryptonians on Earth. They don't have the same skill set whatsoever. The only
right, which is why I'm saying it's not 1-to-1. He's not making Kryptonians, but he is making a creature which is very definitely based on Kryptonians.
No, he's not. That's the thing.
He's made a guy who wears red, flies around with a cape,
he doesn't
has
shoot
super
lasers,
strength, and sure as hell acts like a Kryptonian.
He's not. The entire point of Omni-Man is he's supposed to be the opposite of Superman. He's nothing like Superman. Like, that's the whole point to him. He's not. Like, to compare, if you were to compare Homelander is Superman. Like, yes, he's a parody of Superman. He's a satire of Superman. Omni-Man is his own character that just happens to have a cape and fly. You are making that association to Superman because
and I'm saying Superman. They did that intentionally.
They didn't do that intentionally. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you. They did not do that intentionally.
I don't believe you. I don't believe the person who said that.
It's just you may have. He's a flying superhero. He borrows qualities and
he borrows qualities and aesthetics from Superman.
No, but he doesn't borrow aesthetics. His costume
yes, he does.
Nothing like Superman.
He has the crest on his symbol or on his chest, just like fucking Superman does.
No, but he doesn't. He doesn't.
He does. And he has an O on his chest, just like Superman has an S on his chest.
Viltrumites, nothing like they don't have the same weaknesses, same strength. Like if they're weak to a rock, yeah, but. Robert Kirkman very specifically has
Again,
said
you're splitting hairs.
I'm not,
man.
though. I'm not.
You are.
Robert Kirkman has said very specifically that they are not based on... In fact, I'm going to Google this right now.
I'm sure he did, because he doesn't want to admit that that's what he did.
Well, no, because if he was, he would say, most people would be like,
Because
yeah, he was inspired by
otherwise,
Superman.
he's got the Guardians of the Globe, which has a Batman character, it has a Wonder Woman character,
Yeah,
it has
again,
a
you're
Thor
making
character,
that
it has a
association.
Superman character. Yeah, but they designed the characters so that you would do
It's
that.
coincidence. No,
It's not.
Coincidence.
No, it's not.
Coincidence.
There's no way that it's coincidence, man.
Coincidence.
No.
It's coincidence. Pure coincidence. Pure
No,
coincidence.
it's not.
But
It's
anyway, season 4 of Invincible, that one where he goes to hell. It's 55 minutes long. It's too long. What was the other bit? This is me stalling, trying to remember the other bit I wanted to say.
I don't find that the episodes are too long. I never once found myself watching them and going like, man, this is painful. Whereas when I watched The Boys, I did.
Oh, The Boys is also too long, but this is, to be fair, this is not long by much.
I don't think
it's funny because like, I'm not going to say this about another thing I'm going to talk about. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's animated. It's the type of show it is. No animated superhero thing needs to be longer than 30 minutes. Like, just flat out, full stop. This doesn't need to be longer than 30 minutes.
I didn't have a problem with its runtime.
Like the best example of an episode that,
because at least it was fun.
Right, like it's fun to watch and it's enjoyable, and when I'm in it, I'm like, but it's like just in terms of pacing, like the best example of like one of the worst paced episodes in the season is the one where after Invincible gets rocked by Conquest, and it's Nolan and Oliver, and they're saving Mark. They're taking care of him. That's an entire episode. That should have been a 20 to 25 minute episode, and then it ends with Mark getting better. Like the thing about that episode is Mark gets better, the episode ends, and then it just keeps going for another 15 minutes. Like the entire battle for when they attack, when Mark and Omni-Man and Oliver just happen to show up on the planet to save the day. That's an entire episode. That battle should have been an entire episode of a 30-minute show, and it would have been much better. Like, it kept cutting away from Oliver and Omni-Man. Nolan kept cutting away from Nolan to cut back to other people, and it was just to make the episode longer. Like, there's so many of these episodes where it's like the one where they go to hell is an exact example of that bit where he falls goes on forever, and the episode could have been 5-10 minutes if you chip here and there in these episodes.
I mean, sure, there's definitely ways that you can trim it down, but what I'm saying is I don't think you need to. For me, whether or not I think a show is too long is by whether or not I am having fun and whether or not I'm enjoying my time watching it. And there wasn't a time in these shows that I didn't enjoy watching it.
But
whereas with a show like The Boys, that's a slog.
That's not a metric for me though. Like for me, I'm being objective, and I'm like, how is the pacing of this? And yeah, and a lot of the episodes of this show, like don't get me wrong.
I mean, that's your opinion.
They're not all. You're
not
bad.
being objective. That's your feelings and your opinions.
Like, I'm having fun when I'm watching.
I'm also being objective.
No, but
and I had a good time with it.
But I'm being objective in the sense that I'm like, despite my enjoyment of it, just objectively, there's moments in this show where it drags. Where there's scenes where it drags. Like if I had to watch, there's episodes where there's multiple agonizingly long musical montages of Invincible.
See, that's where I just think your ADHD is coming out. You can't sit still long enough to watch it.
No, because again,
I didn't have any issues with it,
like,
man.
There's 3 or 4 different scenes in this season of Mark randomly flying around set to uplifting music, and it's like, yeah, you could cut this. It doesn't add anything. It doesn't.
I mean, yeah, you could, but you don't have to.
That's me being cold, being like, yeah, for the sake of animation, to not
that's
waste
your
time.
That's your ADHD kicking in, and you not wanting to sit through an additional scene.
It's me being. There's
nothing wrong with that.
No,
that's what you do.
Though it's not what
it is.
Because there's.
Because I didn't have any problems with them.
Yeah, but you have to admit that some of these episodes they drag and they sag. They drag and they sag.
That you could cut.
Absolutely.
But I don't think you have to.
For the sake of making, like,
you could. You could,
like,
and it might even make it stronger.
The show,
but with what we got,
the show.
Let me finish. With what we got, I'm satisfied.
The show would be much better if it were.
That's your opinion.
Hold on, let me finish. The show would be a much better show. It would be a much better, stronger show, if it were. How many episodes was it? 8 episodes. If it were 12 episodes and they were 30 episodes apiece, it would just be paced way better. It would be a much more enjoyable show. It'd be much easier to get through.
I mean, that's your opinion, because ultimately the thing is, if it was 12 episodes versus what it is in terms of time, you'd end up with basically the same amount anyway.
Yeah, but it would feel less like my again. I think there's a lot of episodes. There's a lot of that one where they're on the planet healing. It undercuts the slower moments by having you cut away from it. Like, it would have been a better episode if it was purely focused and it was shorter and it was just focused on Nolan and Oliver, and it was a quiet, and it allows for that because as it is, what happens is you have all this excellent narrative breathing room to allow you to focus and get to know Nolan and Oliver's relationship and focus on that relationship, but it keeps cutting away to there's so many episodes where scenes with irrelevant characters go on for a fucking eternity.
Yeah, I didn't have any problems with it.
The bit where it's the chick from space who has the staff, who Invincible ends up defeating easily and with no effort. She has intro scenes that go on for like 2-3 minutes, that go on forever. You're like, who is this character?
Because it's supposed to set up that in terms of everyone else, she's super powerful and she's hard to defeat, and it's supposed to counterbalance with the fact that Mark could crush any of them, but he doesn't want to be his father. He wants to maintain his human side, but he's constantly being put in these positions where he can't do that. And it's over the course of the series, we see how it weighs on him emotionally till he finally gets to the point where, spoilers, in the last episode, the Viltrumites and their leader are like, we're going to be here and you're going to leave us alone, or I'm going to murder everyone you like. And in order for him to get to that point that he wants to be at of normalcy, he's willing to compromise everything. So that's why they have to have those build-ups, is so that it shows the position that he's in. But I don't have a problem with that. Your ADHD is making it so you can't sit there.
No, it's not that. It's the introduction sequence of this character, it's giving her motivations and background and all this stuff. Who cares? Just do a short little scene where he fights her in the fucking power plant, and then he struggles not to kill, like a better version.
I mean, that's your opinion.
But that's what I'm saying, is it makes this show. Yes, this is obviously my opinion. We're doing a review. That's a stupid thing to say. Obviously, it's my opinion.
You get antsy at me when I give my opinions, so you shut the hell up about that.
But it's my opinion.
Like, you constantly come at me with, oh no, you're wrong. What you're thinking is bad. What you're like, and I'm like, that's my opinion. You're like, well, your opinion is wrong. I'm gonna say it. Your opinion is wrong, Justin.
It's not wrong.
The show is fine the way it is, and you're wrong. You're the wrong one this time, Justin.
I just don't think it is.
It doesn't feel very nice when someone says that. Does it?
Just don't think it is. I just think the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's your opinion.
It would be much stronger if it were shorter.
And I think it was fine. I think unlike The Boys, I don't think it drags.
But it absolutely drags. There's so many scenes where it goes on, where scenes it's not epic, it's individual scenes that go on for like 2-3, and it's like, again,
I get what you're saying. I don't agree with you.
But you do agree with me, because you said I was right. You said it does drag. Like, you just don't want to admit it.
There's points where I said, like, there's points where, yes,
like hell.
There's points where you can make edits. Every show has points where you can make edits to make it stronger. Absolutely, that's not wrong.
There's no way.
What I'm saying is, when I'm looking at the product that we got,
it suffers from the fact that
I think it's fine.
It suffers for the fact that, like,
you can make edits and you can make it and do it. But ultimately, it's fine.
Or like the episode where like, there's just certain episode where it's like, who gives a shit? Like the best one where it keeps cutting back to the fucking crime boss guy and the Asian dragon guy, where I'm like, who gives a shit about these characters that we're never gonna see, like, that we see once a year for an episode that nobody cares about? Like like, and you could tell that a lot of these episodes, like, okay, this is an individual comic book issue, and it's one issue, and it works. You always say this: it's what works on paper doesn't necessarily work on screen, and this is a show that's an example of that, where it's like, yeah, then when you devote no time to there's times where Invincible is just gone for huge chunks of the show for characters who don't matter, who disappear, or like you don't get enough with other characters, or like, yeah, why are you wasting time on this one random side character who you see for a 30-second scene when there's no time devoted to the Guardians of the Globe? All I'm saying is if we parse this out and we split out all the irrelevant non sequiturs that the show likes to do, and we turn them into actual episodes, and we actually did once again a proper, like, I don't want to say 20 episode season, but at the very least a 13 episode season, and like, yeah, we allow these characters room to like breathe. I just think it would be a much better show. I think it would be.
I mean, I don't inherently disagree, but my thing is that at this point we're in season 4. It's too late for that.
I mean, I don't think it is.
It is. It's too late for that. You can't suddenly do proper seasons with actual flowed out and like fully thought out character plans.
It's bizarre because the pacing of the show is both breakneck. Like, that's why I'm saying there's not enough episodes, and the episodes are it's bizarre. It's the only one of these that's like there's not enough episodes, and the episodes are too long, so they feel really ADHD. Like, where it's like. Or there's episodes where some of the fight sequences you're like, okay, do I really need to watch a guy disembowel a guy for a really long time again? Like, it does kind of get a little repetitive. Let's talk about the shit I like, though, because I have been overly negative. I really like the fight.
Yes, you have.
I really like the fight with Dinosaurus. That one's fun.
That was fun.
It's too violent. I will say it's too violent. I know, like, I'm not the guy to say that.
The fight or the show?
The show. Like, there's points where I even went, dude, it's too much.
I mean, yeah, but that's supposed to be the point.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know, like, even okay, I'm gonna move on in a bit because I want to compare it to another show, which I think is a better version of this. I don't think the violence is impactful, because there isn't enough of it, but it hits a point of getting gross. So, like, the bit where, spoiler alert, and this is gonna be gross, where also the characters take so much damage it becomes unbelievable, and it kind of ruins stakes. But like the bit where Conquest is like ripping out Mark's guts, like it goes on for too long. Like, where I'm like, dude, I get it. You're tearing out his guts. It's unpleasant.
Yeah, but it does lead to a joke, which I think is funny, where after Mark kills him, where it's at the end of the episode or whatever, and it's like zooming in on Conquest's grave again as the music is playing this really intense, like he's gonna come alive, and then it just pops back out and it's just dead. He's actually dead this time.
Maybe think of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, where it's like, no, Daddy needs you. Daddy needs your guts. Stay in, Daddy. Stay in, Daddy. Also, if I were making the Invincible Abridged, I'd do a joke where it shows Thrag, or they're talking about Thrag, and they're like, how are we supposed to beat this guy? And he appears, and he goes, that's the neat part. You don't. That'd be fun joke. Also looking into the future, Invincible fans for season 5, because I suspect that's coming in season 5. Don't be weird.
What?
You don't get that, I'm guessing. I don't want to spoil anything for the comics in case you care about being spoiled. Just don't be weird. You'll get that later. I'll tell you what it means later.
Okay.
Because it's gross, and we've already talked about disemboweling people.
Right. Okay. All right.
Jordan, you have anything else you want to say about Invincible? Oh yeah, sorry. The episode where they go to hell is filler. It's by its literal definition filler. It's filler.
Okay.
It's just
is that bad?
Well, no, that was it. No, I don't think so. I like filler. Like that's the thing. There's a lot of people who are having this discussion online where they were like, "Is that episode filler?" And then people who are getting defensive, who like that episode, were being like, "No, it's not filler. It is filler. It's filler because it's not."
Why does filler have to equal bad? Filler means literally you're filling in the corners of a universe and expanding it and making it better.
Well, it's just more in the sense of like. If you're
expanding it and making it better.
If you're using the phrase filler in regards to manga, and a filler arc is an arc that's not from the manga, it's not from the original comic. So it's by its literal definition filler. Whether that's just a purely, I know that has connotations of being a bad thing. It's purely a neutral thing in this case. I actually like that episode. So for the most part. The only thing I didn't like about it was that it was 55 minutes long. If it were 45 minutes long, 40 minutes long, I feel like if Invincible were 40 minutes, but like a consistent 40 minutes, then I probably would be less harsh on its runtime. Because truly, the 45 minutes didn't feel terrible. Like there was a couple episodes where it was closer. It was like 47 minutes. It was closer to 45, and it was like, this feels like a good length. And that transitions nicely into my next thing. I think I'll go next.
I did find it funny how the one dude, the one guy who's leading all the good people, who is also secretly a Viltrumite. I find it funny how he's Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
And he's like, Alan, I need you to murder all the Viltrumites. And I'm like, oh man, classic Optimus Prime wanting to murder his enemies.
I like the conflict between because it's you're like, yeah, man, they're space Nazis, and I'm not really pro genocide, but it kind of seems like he's right. But then
they were an unstoppable force, and they maybe had to be dealt with appropriately.
Right? But like by that same token, no, genocide doesn't feel cool. So like it doesn't feel good to say to be like, I think we should wipe out this race of people from existence. It doesn't feel cool to do that.
It's a real existential crisis, and I appreciate that in a show.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I like this show. I don't have a problem with the runtime. I think that some of the episodes could use a little refinement? Sure, but overall, I had fun. I didn't like the younger brother.
Oliver? He's
a teenager.
Like he's going through
annoying.
He's going through his angsty phase right now.
Yeah, and he's annoying. He's annoying. I haven't liked him since he showed up. He's overconfident and cocky, and I find that annoying in a character, considering the fact that on multiple occasions he's almost died and he's still cocky and arrogant.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Like, he got his shit rocked by fucking Conquest and last year, and this year he's like, hey man, we killed you. We did nothing. It was Mark and his magical girlfriend who did this.
Right. You almost got torn in half, you little shit.
Yeah,
maybe you need to learn.
Immediately rocked.
Maybe you need to learn a little bit. Like it'd be different if there was like even the remotest hint of like he had learned a lesson, but he is still exactly the same amount of arrogant, and it's irritating.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's my biggest, quite frankly, more than the run times. That's my biggest complaint with this season.
He
has not learned any sort of lesson.
My thing about the run, it's minor. It's like, it's not even like I'm like, I know I said 30, but honestly 40. If these episodes were 40 minutes, like an even 40 minutes across the board, I would probably be less critical. But yeah, there was just certain episodes where I'm like, I need to watch The Boys, and this is 55 minutes long for no reason.
Like to the point where when Thrax like chops his arm off and like lobs him into space or whatever, and I'm like, oh damn, they realized nobody liked him and they killed Oliver.
Not yet.
And then he survives, and I was like, oh,
he's got to do some bad shit first before he dies.
Should I be disappointed that he survived? Does that make me a bad person?
It's a funny thing because I just don't think I don't think they're gonna finish this comic. I really don't. I think it'll get canceled before that happens. Jordan, I think I'll go next.
Hey there everybody, it's Endcard Justin here. Let me know down in the comments, what did you think about Invincible Season 4? Or really just Invincible generally. Let me know your thoughts about this show, whatever, what have you, down in the comments down below. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see the full podcast episodes from our It Came From Amazon special, click the box on the left. Or if you just want to see a random video YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just leave this video a link. That helps us out too. We'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.